Yeah, okay. Good evening, Dr. Supriya Rao, and good evening to the participants who are watching this live session. Ladies and gentlemen, and esteemed colleagues and enthusiasts, welcome to today's session on Study Overseas, all that you need to know. Your comprehensive guide to embarking on an educational journey beyond the borders. This session is designed to demystify the process of studying abroad, providing you with invaluable insights into choosing the right institution, understanding the application procedures, and navigating visa processes, and preparing for life in a new cultural settings. Whether you are in the initial stages of considering study abroad options, or you are gearing up or make your dream a reality, the session aims to equip you with the knowledge and tools necessary for a successful overseas study experience. And join us as we explore the endless opportunities and prepare you for the exciting adventure that lies ahead in your academic and personal growth journey. Before we start Dr. Supriya's session, I would like to give some short introduction about her. So we are honored to introduce Dr. Supriya Rao as our distinguished guest speaker for today's session. Dr. Supriya is a renowned specialist in the higher education sector with a commendable 2-decade-long career dedicated to counseling and guiding students on their academic journeys. Throughout her illustrates the career, she has embraced the various roles within education consultancies in India and has also been part of senior management at prestigious universities in the UK and Australia. A proud commerce graduate from Bangalore University, Dr. Chupriya's professional journey spans across the multiple sectors before she found her true calling in the higher education sector. Beyond her professional endeavors, she is deeply committed to social causes, serving as a career mentor at an NGO focused on supporting education for underprivileged children. Her dedication to nurturing young minds and assisting them in realizing their dreams is truly inspiring. Dr. Chupre is also a winner of the International Women Entrepreneur Award 2024 and an esteemed core committee member of the British Business Group and South India. Currently residing in the UK, she has taken her passion for education a step further by founding companies that promote overseas education in India as well as a health tech company in the UK. So at the end, I would like to introduce to the motto of Dr. Chupriya, an effective and efficient communication along with a strong desire to learn in the mantra for success. I would like to hand over the session to Dr. Supriya and also thanks a lot for joining us today and over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. I hope I'm audible to all of you. And it gives me great pleasure to be here and to give some key tips, important information on studying overseas. It's a very, very important decision for each one of us when we are looking forward to pursue either our undergraduate or masters outside India. So, what Suganti mentioned, I have been in this line for more than 20 years and have assisted thousands of students now who are well settled overseas across areas. And today I've got a presentation for all of you, which I'll try to keep it as crisp as possible so I can cover the main details that you guys need to know about studying abroad. So let me just quickly share my screen. And I hope you guys find this informative because after I finish my presentation, it will be open for question answer. So feel free to come out with any questions that you've got. So let me just share my screen quickly and make that a full screen. So I think it's visible for all of you. Is that visible fine, Sugandhi?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Okay, perfect. So let me just get started. So today's topic, like I mentioned, is all about what are the basic things that each of you who are there today available at the session, and please feel free to convey this information to your other friends, family who have not been able to be a part of this for whatever reasons, but please feel free to pass on the information to them because the more knowledge they've got at the base level is when they can take it further to the next level. So, like you can see, um, I have got a company currently in India called Connect Overseas. We are an overseas education consultancy, and we have successfully placed a lot of students in universities outside India, and we work with universities globally. So this presentation is going to run through a couple of key topics country wise in terms of what documents you need, an overall estimate on pricing, scholarship, whatever I thought I can put in at a foundation level for each of you to understand. And of course, my contact information will be shared to the end, so you can always come back to me. Um, each of you who are on this live session today, I'm sure you'll have your own reasons wanting to study abroad. Okay, but the key reasons why someone, an individual, irrespective of the age, because you also get a lot of mature students studying overseas, the reasons why they wish to pursue a degree or a master's overseas is purely because one is the international exposure they get, access to some of the state of art facilities which are not currently available completely within our country. And the degree that you get when you study outside India is globally recognized. Not that Indian degrees are not. Quite a few of our degrees are now being recognized outside the country as well. But these education systems have been running for hundreds of years. So their degrees are way more globally recognized. So they open their doors for you to have a global career. So once you graduate from a particular country, you're not restricted to only work in that country, but you can even look at probably applying for a job outside that country as well. So you get a global career and you have more specialized areas to select from in terms of topics, which are taught at a very hands-on, in-depth level for you to understand a particular topic into a very very specialized way is what I can say. And most of these countries nowadays also give students an option to stay back, work full time, which is a big advantage, purely because in our country, or if I say South Asia as a region, most of us take education loans to pursue our dreams of studying abroad. So when you work abroad, it helps you to even clear your loans, and of course it gives you a way more a stable career aspect as well. So these are the key reasons why someone will choose to pursue their degree or masters or even research at some level outside India. And this slide talks about the key destinations which generally, this is nowadays been fluctuating a bit, but otherwise these are the key destinations which students wish to pursue their degrees from: UK, Ireland, Canada, the United States. You also have now people wanting to study in Dubai, Singapore, Malaysia, Australia, New Zealand, Germany, especially for students engineering line, mechanical side, automobile side, Germany. And if you can see, off late, even the European countries have started welcoming international students and giving them options to pursue their courses in their homeland. So Malta has picked up, France has got good stay back options as well, and a lot of other European countries with students choose to go and pursue. Sometimes when it's a very niche area that they want to study in, they also look at the European countries for pursuing their degrees, their masters. So what I'm going to do now is individual slides on destinations as to why probably that could be your choice of study, because sometimes students are so confused, they don't know which country they want to pursue their studies in. It happens to all of us. We really don't know, should we go to the US? I have my family there, or not really. I want to go to some place like the UK, Ireland, or Australia. So this information hopefully should give you an understanding as to why this particular country, if you're looking at it. Now, UK and Ireland, especially the UK, they've been running the universities. Most of them are even 500 years old. So you've got the ancient universities, you've got the red brick universities, you've also got the modern universities. So you need to, of course, get an understanding on how these vary from each other. But they have globally ranked universities. They all come within the top 100. Oxford, Cambridge come within the top 10 in terms of the global ranking. And they have state of art facilities, and they cover topics anything under the sun. So if you want to specialize in a particular topic which you're not finding in India, you have that available in UK and definitely Ireland for the IT and the STEM courses, and also a couple of the universities also looking at management courses which are very strong. So you get specialized topics that you wish to study with lot of practical exposure. So the way we are taught in India is very different to the way you study outside our country. Okay, so in India, you have your theoretical and your practical, but uh, probably in some scenarios, the practical does not get too much of an importance. But in universities outside, definitely in the UK and Ireland, it's a lot of practical way of learning your subject. And you also have individual assignments, you'll have group assignments, you'll have lectures couple of days a week. The rest of it, you'll have a lot of industrial visits, you'll have a lot of people coming from the industry interacting with you. So it's very, very practical. So you really study a topic in depth. And in the UK, you have quite a few courses. Now there are few changing, which is beyond a year, because they have the work year attached along with it. But otherwise, you complete your master courses in 1 year. So way quicker than your counterparts. Okay, so you're done with your studies, you've already hit the job market, and you've started to work. So that's another advantage, because it becomes a little more cost effective for you, because your living expenses and all that is just for the year that you're looking at, including your tuition fee. Scholarships, very, very, very important for us. Okay, especially in our market, we always look at scholarships. So whenever I've interacted with students, with parents, the key things they'll ask is safety from the parent point of view. From the student point of view, ranking in scholarship, what kind of a scholarship will I get, ma'am, in the university? So there are a lot of scholarships available for students, especially for girl students. There are a lot of scholarships that are introduced specifically for them, STEM scholarships. Okay, and this is a big advantage because it reduces your cost as well, because an X amount deducted from your tuition fee really helps you in balancing your costings as well. They have a lot of active research areas going on. So they're funded by the government, by the industry. So most of the universities also have active research areas. So if somebody is wishing to pursue a research degree, there is, of course, a different process for the application, but that's also available. Okay, you have stay back option in both UK and Ireland. So after you complete your program, you can apply for your post study work, or what's it called in the UK as graduate immigration scheme. You guys can stay back. You can work for 2 years full time, and that really helps. So if your employer is super happy with the way you work, they can even apply, sponsor your work permit, and you guys can stay on and then go through the PR process and all of that. The biggest advantage for us in India, English is not a problem, nearly for most of us. We don't struggle with the language, and these are all courses taught in English. So it's pretty easy for us to understand the subject, what's being taught, because we don't have a language barrier. But again, we always recommend students to take up the English language test, because the English in these countries, the way it is spoken and written is different to the way we handle it in India. So please do take your IELTS, your PTE, your TOEFL, whichever you feel is comfortable, because it will help you assess how good you are with the English language. You may be like, I speak really well, I've done fantastically well in my 10th, my 12th, I've aced it in my English, but you're taught by people with different accents. So when you're taking up these exams, you are assessed in your reading, writing, speaking, and your listening skills. So you exactly know which area you probably are a little weak, and you can brush upon and work over it. So there's no harm in taking English language test. Some countries like the UK, they also waive the English language conditions in some situations. Some universities do that based on your 12th English score, but we sincerely test university, but definitely outside supermarkets, restaurants. These are the kind of places where students do work part time. And you can work 20 hours a week when your classes are running on, and vacations full time, 40 hours. And why should you work part time? Because it gives you an understanding of the work culture in that country. Okay, gives you that extra money for your expenses. And of course, part time work is not your priority. Once you go in and you settle down with your course in the university, in the city, then look out for a part-time job because you don't want to go there, focus on part-time and struggle with your course. And I think one of the big reasons why students select UK or Ireland is also the travel time. Currently, it's just 5.5 hours in terms of the time difference. From March end onwards, it switches to 4.5 hours, but it's not too far. You have direct flights from whichever city you guys are in. Um, British Airways usually fly direct. You have Virgin Atlantic. You've got the Middle East airlines like the Etihad, Qatar, Emirates. They all connect to UK, so you can even have a stopover over there and then fly into UK or take a direct flight. It shouldn't be more than 10, 11 hours, and I think that's a pretty decent time. You're not very jet lagged as well. So I think these are the key reasons why someone would choose UK or Ireland. Okay, so moving on to the most hot destinations currently, the US and Canada. US is like an evergreen destination for us Indians, and especially the technical line of students prefer going to US. Of course, it's a huge country, loads of career opportunities across that wide country from east to the west, and it has always been a destination which fancies Indian students. So also a lot of industries, a lot of the headquarters of major IT sector companies are based in the US. And again, the degrees from US universities are accepted globally, amazing career opportunities. Like the UK and Ireland, US, and Canada give very good support for international students. And I think that's very, very important because universities are also ranked on the international student support that they provide. It could be with the careers, it could be with any other support that the student needs, how to open a bank account could be, okay, or any other general information. They also look at the well-being of the students because you're leaving your family and going there, so sometimes you may feel lonely, whatever issues they have. Student counselors who are there to support your well-being as well, so they give excellent support systems. Again, you've got fantastic state of art cutting edge technologies, very specialized areas that you can study. And talking specifically about Canada, like we all know, Canada is like a very, very, very PR friendly country. Of course, there are ways and process to get the PR for Canada, and it's also very close, just there at the border for most of the Canadian cities, which we Indians go to our border to the US. So sometimes people use that as also as a route to enter the US, and it's complete return on investment because whatever X amount you're going to invest in terms of your fees, your living, you will get that back once you start working in these countries. So I think that is a very key factor. It's a huge amount that you guys are looking at investing, not in thousands, but in lakhs. So return on investments is very vital that you run through the proper counseling process to shortlist the right destination, the right university, the right course, depending on what sort of career you guys are looking at, and not blindly just apply to some university. So that's where the counseling is very, very vital, which is what we do at Connect Overseas. Another very a destination that's slowly picked up over the past few years. Of course, New Zealand is picking up, but Australia has picked up really well. We call it the Down Under, and filled with, of course, a lot of people from India and South Asia. And it is a massive demand. It's got a massive demand from us, from our students. Of late, they've tightened their immigration rules, including their visas and all of that. But when you are counseled by the right team like ours, you know the exact procedure, not just with the university application, but also at the visa stage. So these are things that you guys need to keep in mind. Group of 8 universities, the oldest universities, which are in Australia, and nearly all of them are very highly ranked globally, and they have great courses, great scholarships. I have worked with a group of 8 university in Australia as well. So they have very, very great courses. And also you have the regional areas in Australia where you get an additional year to stay back. For example, I used to work with University of Western Australia, which is in Perth, west of Australia, and Perth is considered as a regional area. So they get an additional year, encouraging students to study in those cities because they get that extra year to stay back and work. So that is again an advantage. A very huge PR friendly country, Australia, and also like the other destinations, good, excellent student support services, especially While I was working at the University of West Australia during the COVID times, they did fantastically well in supporting the students, because that was one of a testing time for all of us. I'm sure you'll agree. Probably you guys were in school, college. I don't know what you were doing at that time, but you all have gone through that phase of the tough times during the COVID. So they had great support facilities at that time, and of course, great scholarships available in these countries, up to 50% of scholarship and all of that, and very good quality of life across these countries that I've spoken so far. Upcoming destinations. Trust me, these are the destinations which students are now wanting to go to. Okay. And given that a lot of different situations are there in the other countries, whether it's to do with job market or whether the visa rejections, whatever it could be, these destinations, Dubai, Singapore, and Malaysia, have picked up. And I can tell you very confidently, because I have my company which counsels students wanting to study in any destination. We have started to see a lot of inquiries coming in for Dubai, Singapore, and Malaysia of late. And they also have some very good universities. They have, like what I mentioned in the slide, you've got a lot of international universities having their campuses in these countries, and that makes a huge difference. So what, you're not compromising on your course structure, you're not compromising on the quality of the course, but you're probably paying a little lesser in terms of fees, so it's more cost effective. Closer home, just for less than 4 hours is Dubai. Okay, your Singapore is just there. Malaysia is all close by, so they all are less than 4 hours, their travel time. You can come home aram se without any tension. And they also have some very good intense courses, excellent facilities. You have even Indian universities having campuses in these countries, like Manipal University has campus in Malaysia for medicine students. They have campus in Dubai for, especially for engineering, massive demand, AI and all of that, because they have great industrial connects. Then you also have the campuses of Bitspalani, Amity, all of them in Dubai. And I visited them last 2 weeks back. I was there at these campuses. And also, you have a lot of UK universities, US universities, Australian universities having their proper campuses. And you're studying the same curriculum, but at a lesser fee, good scholarships. And in some situations, you can even do like a couple of years in Dubai, maybe, and the final year in the parent university. So you have a lot of these options available. That is one of the reasons why these destinations are picking up. The other thing is, in Dubai, they have the flexibility of the switch of your visa. So even if you're going there on the student visa, you can convert that in such a way that you're studying part time and you're working full time. So again, you're earning no tax that you're paying. You're saving up all that money. So that's a big plus. Another reason why Dubai is picking up. Very safe. Okay, and you have a lot of our people as well settled in these countries. So sometimes there are reasons why parents want students to be around in countries where there are Indians and South Asians. So yeah, you have them in a good number. And definitely it's quality education and quality life, and these degrees also open doors for a global career. And like I've covered the key destinations on why you should be looking at them. So if you're confused, some way you have an understanding which country over the other. But nonetheless, you can always come back to us, and we're there to guide you individually on your profile, how you need to go about with whatever course or destination you're looking at. But this gives you, this particular slide talks about an overview about what's the kind of entry requirement the universities look for. Usually a first class. Okay, not many universities are open to and being flexible with backlogs, but again, there are some who are okay with backlogs, but it depends on how many backlogs. But ideally, a first class, 60% and above. But there are some universities who look at 55 and above. So, on a case by case basis, when we are talking to you and giving you information about the universities, we can tell you what's the kind of requirement they have. For courses, if somebody is wanting to do an MBA, okay, you do have freshers MBA also available, but smaller in number, because generally MBA is a course which is pursued by an individual after they've gained good years of work experience, because you have reached a certain level in an organization. Now you want to go vertically, and that's when the MBA gives you the required knowledge on the various topics for you to grow vertically. So MBA is something which would need a work experience if you're looking at universities in that category. But if you're a fresher, immediately after your bachelor's, you already have a business back home, your parents want you to do an MBA, you do have options as well. Okay, so when we are sitting down with the student and understanding the profile, we give them information on both specialized masters as well as the MBA, and you can select it from there. English language, like what I mentioned earlier, ideally, the universities will look for a 6.5 overall with minimum 6 in each band, that is reading, writing, speaking, listening. So you could choose to do the IELTS or the TOEFL or the PTE, the choice is yours. These are valid for 2 years, and you will have to take the academic one, okay, because you're going there to study. And most of the technical courses which are specialized will need a relevant undergraduate degree. Likewise, there are a couple of business courses also which will require a relevant undergraduate degree. So entry requirements, you always have to be sure that you're thorough, you're aware of what is the degree, what is the percentage that they need. SAT is something which you take for US, not for the other countries. Again, the GRE and GMAT not applicable for all countries. GRE needed for the US, but again, GMAT, some of the B schools may ask for it, but this goes on a case by case basis, which we will advise you with. These are your documents that usually you will submit when you're applying to university. Unfortunately, over the past year or two, there have been a lot of fake documents from certain regions in our country which have been submitted to universities. So they become very strict on the documents. They also verify your documents if they are genuine. Okay, so that is a process which most of the universities are now implementing. So the turnaround time of your decisions are slightly affected by that. But ideally, the documents that you will submit, irrespective of the destination that you're applying to, would be a statement of purpose. So, what is a statement of purpose? It's an essay that you're writing, ideally 2 pages of A4 size sheets, talking about yourself, your educational background, why you wish to pursue a master's in that field, why that country, okay, why that university, so you're making it university specific, and how is that course going to help you with your career growth. All right, and please do not copy paste. Do not go to any AI tool or go search on Google, copy paste SOPs, because plagiarism is a big no no outside our country. And because I've been on the admission panel in the universities, we have various tools in which we get to know if the SOP is copied from somewhere and it is a reject. You may be a 90% in your academic, but your SOP is copied, it's a reject. So please phrase it in your own words. You don't have to put fancy hi fi words, simple English, but try and phrase it on your own. At our consultancy, we also check the SOPs. We, suggest changes if needed to the students. CV, ideally, for the MBA programs where you guys have work experience, CV is a must. But otherwise, also CV can go along with it even if you're just still studying or just graduated. All your mark sheets mandatory, 10th, 12th, whatever semester mark sheets you've got, if you're still studying in the final years, if you've completed your undergrad, you've completed a master's, whatever you guys have completed, we need all the mark sheets and the relevant degree certificates. In some situations, also the transcripts, but your degree certificates are needed. If you are still awaiting the degree certificate, your PDC can go along with your application form. What is a PDC? Provisional degree certificate. Okay. Work experience documents, important, whether it's MBA or any other course. If you guys have been working, we need you to provide copies of your work experience documents. If you're still working in that organization, a copy of your offer letter. You have quit companies, your relieving letter. So all of that has to be provided. And passport, first page, last page. Okay. Your recommendation letters. If you're working, one from your academic and one from your work, from your line manager on the letterhead, where they're rating you as an employee, your faculty is rating you in terms of your studies as a student, and on the letterhead with their official contact details, their email ID, their official phone number, seal, sign, all of that. So this is very important. English language test score can always go even later, so you can apply to a university even before you take your IELTS or PTE or TOEFL, whichever you guys decide. So that's not a problem. And any other relevant documents that's going along with your application. You've done internship along with your course. Please put certificates of that. You had a gap in your study for whatever reasons. Okay, so try to provide supporting documents for that, because all this is very important when the admissions team is making a decision. And sooner you provide all the documents, quicker is the decision that they'll make. Okay, so if you're going to give incomplete set of documents, it's put in the hold category till they get your documents. They're making no decision. Okay, so please ensure you have these available to go along with your application form. Okay, and please don't give any incorrect documents. Ensure that all of them are genuine and very, very important. Usually, the turnaround time of decisions from universities vary from, say, a week till even 2 months, because it varies university wise, and some have decisions made within India because they have their offices within our country. But ideally, this is the turnaround time. Okay, and during peak times, be prepared to have a delay in your decisions, and the sooner you apply, the better for you. And this is something which we always stress upon when we are talking to students, because in universities outside our country, the seats are limited. In a class, they don't have more than 30 students, tops 35 students. And these are students where they've applied from around the world. So they're not getting only applications from India, they're getting applications from countries all around. And they just have so many seats available. So it's like a first come, first serve basis. So you guys have applied early, you've gotten a positive decision from the university. Fantastic. Meet the conditions. You know which university you're going. Go for it. Don't delay your application process. Don't come to us in June, July, waiting for you to finish your final year exams. Like, hey, now I want to apply, but we're sorry, the course is full. Okay, and nowadays the trend is such that the courses are full by March, April itself. So please kindly um, submit your application forms at the earliest. This is for your own good, and you won't have a nail biting finish, because your visa also is a process, and it's a step by step thing. So once you have a decision, you meet your conditions. Most of the universities ask you to pay a deposit to confirm your seat. Then you get your letter for visa. Then you apply for visa. And peak time visas also take time. So please make early applications. Here I've just given an estimate of your fees and living, but please note this can vary country wise, it can vary university wise, and of course the conversion rate's not in our hands. So that's what you're looking at in terms of the tuition fee, keeping in mind whether it's an undergrad or a postgrad, and of course the living expense. So what do you mean by living expense? It's not just your accommodation, but it's everything that you need to live in that country as a student. So your accommodation, your food, your travel, your books, your entertainment, whatever. So that comes under living expense. So ideally, when you're applying for visa, you're showing funds to cover your first year fees and living. But again, please note visa procedures vary country wise. It's not a set procedure that all countries follow. Each country have their own way of doing their visa applications. At Connect Overseas, my company, we have destination specific counselors. So they have more than 10, 15 years of experience in handling those destinations, from application to visas and beyond. So that makes a huge difference when students are guided and given the right information. So it's a smooth flowing, seamless process that we follow. And this is what we do at my organization. So, Connect Overseas, like I mentioned, we represent universities, we work with universities globally. Okay, so we guide students individually based on your profile, starting from helping you with the options, applications, once you have a decision, how to go about, when you're ready for your visas, helping you file your visa app. We have connections with accommodation options, education loans, all of that. So we provide you a complete support for these universities that we work with. If there is any university outside our list, we're happy to help you with those as well for a very small service fee. But ideally, we don't charge for our services for the universities that we are working along with. And what we believe at Connect Overseas is counseling. We don't have a sales approach. We don't just stick universities and tell you apply. We're there to counsel you and give you the right information and tell you which destination, which course, which university is the one for you. And I think that's what is our biggest USP. Given that I have more than 2 decades of experience working with universities, and my team are all having more than 10 years experience counseling students across destinations. Um, so now I'm done with my presentation. I'm trying to keep it as crisp and informative as possible. We open the floor for questions. This is something which I would like you all to probably take a screenshot, take a picture, whatever way suits you fine for our contact information. So that's my personal ID for the company. That's our company website, and you've got our landline number as well as our mobile number, which you can reach out to. And if you want counseling to happen, if you're based in Bangalore, that's where my office is. You guys can walk in, call up, take an appointment, come over, meet the team. If you are living outside Bangalore, no problem. You can still call us up and fix a counseling which is online. We're happy to even interact with you over a Zoom call, a phone call, whatever is convenient for you, but we're there to guide you. So quickly take a screenshot of this. And I'm happy to take the questions now, Sugandhi, if there are any at all. So I'll leave the screen on because people will be making notes. So any questions, happy to answer.
Yeah, okay, ma'am. First of all, thank you for this presentation, and I have some questions here. So, first one, how can I maximize my chances of admission to a top tier university abroad?
Okay, so when you have your destination already in mind, and you know if you're looking at the Ivy League or the Red Brick or the high ranked universities, one is they're very competitive. Okay, they have a very small percentage open for international students, and two, they close their applications super quick. Okay, so you guys need to start applying very well and ensure that you have a very good score in your academics, because they will be particular on the quality of students that they are getting on into their university. So an early application, connecting with us at the earliest, because we also work with very good high ranked universities, will make it easier for you. Don't come last minute, you're definitely late. I can guarantee that for you, because these universities fill up their courses very quick.
Okay. What are the emerging trends in international education, and how can students adapt to them?
What do you mean by emerging trends?
Yeah, so emerging trends in international education.
Okay, so international education, one is how you want to adapt to it. You really need to go there and give yourself a month or two to settle down. One is because the teaching method itself is so different to the way we study in India, like I mentioned earlier. And even the topics. So, what we teach in the universities outside India, the topics are what is relevant to the industry. We are not teaching something that's 20 years back. Okay, we're teaching subjects which you guys need now to get on to your job market. Okay, so that is something you need to be aware of. And things keep changing. Once in 3 years, they revamp their courses, they introduce courses, they take away things which are not needed anymore. So these are things that keep changing. So you need to be up on the game and getting your information right.
Yeah, okay, ma'am. How do students so typically transition academically and culturally to a foreign education system?
Can you repeat it again? Sorry.
Yeah, the how do students typically transitions academically and culturally to a foreign education system?
Okay, so that's a good question. So, like I mentioned over my slides, you're going to a country which is so different. One is the language, the accent, okay, the weather is much colder in most of the places. It's different to what we have in India, okay, and their rules, their regulations, their teaching method, everything is new for us. So when you guys go there, the universities usually ask you to come a week prior to the start of your course, because they also have orientation week. So, what we do in the orientation week is we get you familiar with the campus, with the city, with the way things work, how to open your bank account. You have to bear in mind, this is something which I probably missed out in my presentation. Your accommodation has to be sorted before you reach there. And now it's a big problem students are facing to get the accommodations. You need to sort all of these, okay? And you have the student service team there available to guide you. You have any problem, please go and ask. They will help you with it. Don't feel shy. Give yourself a month or two and you'll be in the flow. You'll understand how the courses are running, how your classes happen, how the job market is, where are the part-time jobs going on, how you need to go about. It will happen. You've got the relevant support system available. So please be there for the orientation week. Don't go late because you're not just catching up on the classes that you missed, but also you're like in that panic mode. You have to handle the missed notes, you're dealing with the classes, you don't know how to go about, you haven't opened a bank account, all of that. So try to be there earlier, and they are there to support you. We are here to support you. So that shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, okay, thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, what opportunities exist for the international students to gain the work experience while they're studying abroad?
Yeah, so what I mentioned, part-time work
Okay.
is available in nearly all these destinations. Countries like Singapore and all that don't let you work part time, but otherwise, nearly all of them allow you to work part time. And I encourage students to take up part time work purely because you understand the culture, their language, how they work, all of that gives you that extra money also for your spendings. But you need to bear in mind, you first need to settle down with your course before you look at a part-time job. If you're looking at countries like US, you can't work outside the campus. It has to be an on-campus job. But in countries like UK, Ireland, there is not really many jobs that you get within the university. So you're looking at jobs outside. So usually students work in restaurants, malls, supermarkets, and these are the kind of places where they end up working. And sometimes, well, some students get lucky to get a part-time job in their course area itself, but don't bank on it. But ideally, these are the places where students work. They make decent money as well, and they learn the job. And in courses where they have an internship year, they also can look at, they will be assisted by the universities to get a job within their area of study also.
Yeah, okay. Ma'am, how can international students effectively manage the visa regulations and post-study work opportunities?
Okay, so we are here for you to help you with your visa. So Connect Overseas, like I mentioned, we help you with the entire information. So once you have finalized your university and you've got an offer and you know this is where you're going, we'll start assisting you with the visa process for that country because it varies country wise. Okay. And what was the second part of the question, Sugati?
Yeah, sorry, ma'am.
What was the second part of the question?
Yeah, it's a visa regulation and post-study work opportunities.
Okay, post study work again. You will apply for that relevant visa. So you can't just finish your course, get your degree, and say, now I'm okay to work full time. No, you have to apply for that relevant visa. Okay. Like in the UK, it's called Graduate Immigration Scheme. You guys will need to take the help of the visa team within the university, apply for that visa. You should start applying for jobs while you're studying. Please don't wait till the last minute. Okay. While you're studying itself, please apply for jobs. You have a careers team within the universities, like how we have in our placement cells within our colleges. You have careers team available within these universities. Please go fix an appointment, work on your CVs, where to post in your CVs, attend job interviews. All that happens while you're studying, and then you can work full time once you have your relevant post study work visa and you've been successful in getting a job. The employer need not apply for your work permit. Your visa allows you to work full time. So this assistance is given by the relevant team within the university. So when you are in the campus, you have to take appointment and meet the careers team. They will guide you on all the processes. So please remember, outside our country, you have to be proactive in going forward and asking your queries. No one's going to come to you and say, hey, look, you got to do this. No. You have to go ask your questions, they will be answered.
Yeah. Okay, ma'am. Can you tell any impact of global events like an example of pandemics and any political changes on overseas education and how students can navigate these challenges?
Okay, so now there is no challenge. Pandemic is gone, right? So there's no COVID right now. But during the pandemic time, it was a huge challenge for all of us because one is you're stuck within the four walls of your house. you are staying in a country where your family is not there and you are dealing with your classes. So at that time, everything was online, but we had immense student support available for them at any stage. We gave a lot of financial aid to students because they couldn't work part-time either, so they lost all of that. So we did provide the right support. So when something like this happens, do not panic. You are our family. So the university becomes your family. So we all are there to support you. Likewise, all precautionary measures, everything is taken, so not to worry. And any situation arises where things are not safe or health related or whatever, the universities are there to ensure that you get the best of it. So not to panic on that.
Um, yeah, okay, ma'am. So thank you for the answers. The answers are very useful. I hope the access and that the participants can understand about that. So finally, so ladies and gentlemen, as we draw the curtains on this enlightening session on study overseas, all that you need to know. It's my great honor and privilege to extend our heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Chupriya for her invaluable contributions today. Dr. Chupriya, with your extensive experience and profound insights into the higher education sector, you have illuminated the path for countless students and aspiring to pursue their education abroad. Your dedication to nurturing the young minds and coupled with your commitment to empowering underprivileged children through the education is truly inspiring. The depth of knowledge you have shared today, from the intricacies of choosing the right university to navigating the complexities of adapting to a new cultural environment, has provided us with a comprehensive roadmap for the international education. So, your mantra is emphasizing the importance of effective communication and a strong desire to learn and resonates deeply with all of us here. It serves as a powerful reminder of the foundational values that drive success, so not only in academics but in life. So, on behalf of everyone present and the organization committee, and extend our deepest appreciation for your generosity in sharing your expertise and experiences. Your contribution has not only enriched the session but has also inspired us to approach our educational journeys with the confidence and enthusiasm. So, thank you, Dr. Supriya, for being a beacon of knowledge and inspiration. We are immensely grateful for your presence and look forward to the opportunities to learn from you again in the future. So, thank you everyone for being a part of this session. So, thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. I try to keep it as crisp and informative, but like I've shared my contact details and they have your details. Any questions, you can direct it to me.
Yeah, sure, ma'am.
Thank
Sure.
you, Sam. Take care. Bye.
Yeah, thank you. Bye, ma'am. Bye.